Bulldog Esports is broadcast live from the campus of Truman State University. Located in Kirksville, Missouri, Truman offers over 50 majors and 12 master programs. If you're looking for your next step in your educational journey, you will find what you're looking for at Truman State University. The following is a broadcast of Truman Esports competitive play. Truman Esports competes in Rocket League, League of Legends, and Smash Ultimate, and our program consists of coaches, athletes, and a student staff who all work together to bring home the wins. Keep up with the Bulldogs by following Truman Esports on Twitter.
Hello and welcome to the stream. We are at the second match of this semester for Truman. The match today is going to be Truman versus the University of Minnesota Mankato.
Yeah, sorry, y'all to forgive me. I'm the stream runner, so I have to run back and forth. We have a setup in another room nearby, which is how we do this, as NACE prohibits us from being in the same room and casting for them. People would be able to hear things early, and it would cause some issues, which is also the reason why we have a stream delay. Yeah. So, I mean, it all kind of works in together. So I have to pop in and out periodically. Once pick ban is over and we see pick bans, I have to run over and get the actual thing set up so we can have better vision of the map, so we can actually see the objective times, and so we can get rid of the stupid time, and so we can see the scoreboard. So I have to do all that, and we're officially sanctioned by Truman. Yes. But we have student workers. There's only one official staff member who doesn't get paid, if I remember correctly. So he does it all out of he doesn't have the title he has the title of director, but he does not get a seat on the council or something like that. Yeah. So we love what he does, and we like him a lot. So yeah. What can we say about? Can we talk a little bit about last week while we're waiting for the band phase to go through?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
I think last week we definitely saw a good showing from Truman. We saw them do what they were trying to do, doing what they wanted to do with their first game, which was established that they were coming back strong, and they were coming back as a force. They wanted to get that first game, and they definitely did with a nice 2-0 sweep, and they definitely showed that Truman was a little bit different this year or this semester, because the switches in the top lane and the mid lane. The top lane definitely made a difference last game, definitely shutting down Maryville, and definitely being one of the win conditions for Truman last time out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I want to talk a little bit to that, but I also want to talk about some of the ranks that we're seeing on screen here, because I think it's really important. As anybody who's playing League of Legends currently knows, the split changed actually last Wednesday. So that Tuesday game was the last game where everybody was going to have their ranks from the previous split. And so on this split now, everybody had to go through the re-ranking process. So some of our players, like Meloria, hasn't actually done her placements yet. Yeah. And other players like Bees, like Horse, and Luma, and we see Halo 2, their ranks are a lot lower than they usually would be, and that's because of League of Legends' wonderful ranking system, where it definitely doesn't just drop you like a whole division or something like that for no reason. Why would it ever do that?
Well, why would you?
Why would I want to compete in the same skill level as I did previously?
I would hate that.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of cringe.
Yeah, League of Legends is its competitive way that it scores it is definitely fair all of the time, and you definitely are where you should be.
You're right. Yeah, 100%.
People don't get stuck in a rank and are stuck there for a while, but we see the Trummans they're a little bit down from what we're used to, but we definitely know that they can play. Yeah, and they're definitely probably better than the rank that
100%. Everybody on Truman's team I definitely think that they are better than the ranks that are being shown like right now. Halo easily at minimum a gold jungler.
Yeah.
I would easily put him in platinum. And the same thing for Luma. Obviously, we saw Lumina was at least platinum last game. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Luma was showing up as platinum. He's
Yeah.
at least a platinum player. Our bot lane with
We
Beast
know.
and Horse,
Yeah.
Emerald.
They're definitely higher than gold.
Yes, 100%. And then Meliora, we saw platinum last time,
Yeah.
and that's definitely where we think these players should rank. And we're kind of killing time right now. I'm gonna be completely honest. How NACE does things is, so we didn't realize it until last time. We didn't get the info from the coach, and that's partially my bad. But so they're currently doing a pick ban phase right now, where they're actually drafting their champions, and then the part that we see is going to be just the process of what they did to get those. So that's why that last game it went so fast, because they did it real quick. So we're kind of waiting for that to finish on their side so we can actually see what their pick bans are and we can talk about it. So that's kind of the position we're in. But
but before we switch over to their pick bans, we could probably look at some of the picks that we have for Mankato. Mankato.
Yeah, Mankato.
Mankato. I was taking a quick look at it, and it looks like their jungler loves Shyvana. So
that's Shyvana.
Loves Shyvana. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a ban from Truman, or possibly a pick just to counter it if they aren't looking to completely ban Shyvana outright.
I mean, Truman, as we've seen in the past, strong bot lane, you can really trust the bot lane presence, and I think for that reason, Truman's probably, I mean, they probably will ban it. I mean, if you see somebody as a one trick, you ban that. I remember every time I play in Clash, I play with a group of friends, and one of them is a Warwick one trick. Nothing wrong with that. Well, maybe not a one trick at this point, but she mainly plays Warwick. It's like almost 2 million mastery in this champion. So every time we play Clash, it's just a guarantee. Okay, we get one free ban because they're never gonna let Warwick go through.
They're not gonna. If you see somebody playing the way that we see Oni-chanka, you definitely are like, we probably should ban the champion.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would. I mean, I think that's an easy ban. And I think that's probably the easiest ban that they're going to get. The rest of them are kind of up in the air. I expect for mid lane, I think Grom plays a decent amount of Yasuo. I think a Yasuo ban is probably in there just because we see from Meliora that she really gravitates towards Akali, she really gravitates towards Ahri, and those are two champions which don't fare very well into a wind wall.
No, not very fun with a wind wall. So we might definitely see a Yasuo ban for the mid lane. For the top lane, I was overhearing the coach talk to his players about the possibility of seeing a Shin or a Jax or a Volibear up top, and they're definitely favoring the Shin, so we probably will see a ban either the way of Jax or Volibear.
Yeah, I definitely like the way that Truman can play into some of those picks. Shen, I feel like one of the strengths of last game, or the last game that Truman played, was being able to mitigate the pressure that one of their best players could do. And that top laner really only picked Poppy, really only played Poppy in that top lane, so that basically gave Truman the idea of, okay, we're going to keep seeing this. What's the best thing that we can construct to make sure that it works in our favor? And they did very well with that.
They recognized the fact that the top lane was not going to be strong, and it was a way to circumvent how they were playing, and definitely being able to create a team around a certain champion that they knew would carry them into the late game. And they did that with first with Garen, and then with Set.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking to the rest of the champion pools here, I mean, as we were talking about, Poison, well known to play the Volley, well known to play the Shen, and then well known to play the Jax. So that's kind of the thing that we're expecting. For the support, I think it's half engage and half what's what do they call
Defense?
it? Enchanter support.
Enchanter,
Enchanter is the word. I play Enchanters. Why would I not know what an Enchanter is? But Lulu's been talked about. LeBron's been talked about. Leo's been talked about. I don't know if they floated the Realm. I don't know if that's like a really popular pick for them. But like that's roughly like what we should expect there. And pairing with the ADC in that context maybe is kind of difficult. I mean, what do you play? What do you play with some of those picks? Like, what would you say? Like, if you had a Braum, who would you pick?
If I had a Braum, I would definitely go with a distance high damage like a Caitlyn, or Jhin would work, or could even engage like with Samira.
I like Varus with that too.
Varus would work. Varus would work very well with that.
Yeah.
But what was I looking at? Sorry. But with the bot lane support, they were. I overheard Truman talking about the possibility that they might even pick a Nautilus into Truman, and they were talking about how even in a situation where they had that, they were feeling strong and confident about being able to counter that pick.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. And hey, look, we wasted enough time. The pick ban phase is actually starting. A Poppy ban? Okay,
Poppy
I mean, maybe they didn't do their research. Who on Truman plays Poppy?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they were looking at the wrong team.
Shyvana ban, just like we thought. Mordekaiser. Yep, that's true. That's true. We do see Luma. Luma does like the Mordekaiser, so that's understandable. The Zac ban, rest in peace. Rest in peace. I love Zac. Zac is disgusting on the Rift. A Jax ban.
Yeah.
Banning out that too. Okay. And then Truman's last ban, the volley. Okay, so that's a pretty split.
Yeah.
You get a jungler, you get two on the jungler, and you get one on your top laner. Set, Gwen. I like that.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. I do like Gwen into
Ivern.
Set. Ivern, gotta go with the classic from Halo.
Fiddlesticks, that was definitely something that we're seeing from the jungler as the second option.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a calling. Okay. No, we got a Nocturne jungle on their side too, so that's pretty interesting. All right, let's see what these second set of bans are going to be. This will be interesting, actually.
Yes.
Karthus, okay.
Ban, something that we're seeing from Mankato's bot laner.
Yep, the Jinx is going to be out. Makes sense. If you watched any of last game, you know Truman's Jinx pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
The Leona ban, yeah, that's fair. Leona's pretty strong. I definitely say that Leo's a good ban in that connotation.
Yeah.
Renekton ban, okay.
Ban.
The Ezreal from Bees, okay. I kind of like that.
I like to see Ezreal. Ezreal is very fun.
Samira. Ooh, the Bard.
Bard is probably one of my favorites. Oh, Maokai.
Oh, the Maokai instead. Okay. Yeah.
And Thresh.
Thresh, okay.
I remember overhearing Truman talking about going with that Thresh. They like the Thresh. It works well with their team comp, and they just like the engage that comes with Thresh. Looking at these team comps overall, we're definitely seeing some balance from both of these teams.
Yeah, honestly, in comparison to really what we saw first draft from Maryville, Mankato's first draft is actually a lot stronger.
Yeah.
You've got two really solid tanks. You've got a lot of peel. I think the difference here is the fact that they are really playing a in-your-face comp.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Fiddlesticks ult, you've got Nocturne ult, you've got Set getting in there, you've got Samira wanting to get in, and you've got Maokai locking everyone down. This is definitely a team that reads as, if we're going to fight, we are going to fight on our terms.
Yeah. It's going to be a fight where Mankato is looking to make those decisions for when they want to fight and when fights are going to be happening. For Truman, definitely a little more poke coming from Ezreal and Akali going against Mankato.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see. I mean, the only thing that Truman is weak here in is really kind of having a super strong front line.
Yeah.
You've got it in the Thresh, and we've seen what Horse can do on Thresh.
Yeah.
And looking at the Ezreal and the Akali, yeah, they've got a lot of good poke, and they've got a pretty decent front line with the Gwen being able to really do some true damage. I think that's going to really hurt Set.
Yeah.
Ivern, I just think, is strong. I think
Yeah.
for the way that Truman plays, very smart, very objective oriented, I think the Ivern just makes sense. That's just what they...
Ivern is very good for Truman because of their communication. We saw it last game, definitely, where they were able to communicate effectively and catch Maryville out in certain situations, especially with the Poppy in the top lane. There was definitely some times where we saw them catch her and get the pick there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I'm most looking forward to this mid matchup. I feel like Fiddlesticks is going to be really weak into the Akali. Akali's really got the ranged advantage.
Yes.
We've seen Meliora do some great things in the mid lane. I'm kind of just expecting a continuation of that in this game, honestly.
Yes, I'm expecting Meliora to play very well here, especially into a Fiddlesticks. I feel like, especially in the early game, Akali can do some nice damage, get that hide in there, and hopefully get a quick pick off on the Fiddlesticks and get that ball rolling to get a nice strong Akali.
Yeah, most definitely.
An amazing amount of damage.
Yeah, I think what out of all of the lanes, which lane do you think is going to be the most interesting to watch here?
I think one that will probably be most interesting to watch is going to be bot. Is going to have the most action.
Yeah.
Ezreal and Thresh, the movement that goes on there and the damage they can deal, and then with going against a Samira and a Maokai, there's going to be a lot of action going on in those lanes.
Yep. All right, I gotta go run and do that real quick, so I'll be right back. Make sure talk about something cool while I'm gone.
If we look to the other lanes, oh wow! If we look towards the other lanes, we see definitely mid lane is going to have a little bit of action, but I am suspecting that there's definitely going to be some. There's going to be some overshadowing from the Akali on the side of the Fiddlesticks, depending on how Meliora can play. But I'm expecting some good things out of her, and I'm expecting some nice picks. We're seeing Trimmon going with the similar as they have done before with the 4-pronged vision. Making sure, watching out for any invades. It looks like Mankato is reciprocating, and it looks like they're trying to bait into this, sort of, but it's not really getting anywhere. We got some vision on the red on Truman's side, but besides that, there wasn't too much action.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like neither of these teams are playing like a super invadey comp. I mean, you technically could with a little bit of poke damage and reciprocated even.
Yeah.
You technically you could have saw an invade with the Thresh, but I don't think that's what Truman's looking for.
No.
They want to play safe. Ivern really doesn't really benefit too much from that invade other than stealing a buff, but I kind of think maybe some vertical jungling going to happen here. Last game we saw Ivern go for the steal really early, and that was great. Having him start on his blue side is going to make that much harder. I don't know what the pathing is going to be, but I guess we can really see. But this bot lane.
Truman's getting some good poke out here with Beast. Beast is really messing him up there.
Yeah, I mean, when you got the Ezreal, the only thing you got to worry about is that mana.
Yeah, you got to watching your mana, and if you can play it correctly, you can definitely get some good pokes and hopefully get a pick here.
Yeah, looking at the state here, it looks like Mankato is going to get that level 2 in bot first. This is the way the waves are looking at for him. Ooh, big damage onto that. Yeah, oh, no, Truman got it first there. Truman, oh my gosh. The zoning that Truman's doing in that bot lane is just very, very smart.
Yeah, they are definitely, they definitely know what Maokai can do here, and they're making sure to not get caught out by any of his tomfoolery that's going to be going on, and playing to their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ooh, a little bit of some action here in mid. Not really much there. Gonna get quick fear.
Yeah, about an equal trade. We definitely see in the top lane here that Zed is pushing in and he's being aggressive. He can definitely against a Gwen that is his objective is to be as aggressive as he can as Gwen isn't going to be doing too much damage early on, and her ability isn't going to be stopping much of what Zed is doing. But we're seeing some damage here from Meliora on the fiddlesticks, getting him down pretty
All right,
well.
a little something going on there. Using that engage on the Maokai really. Oh, the hook is good. We're gonna see the flay maybe. Nope, no flay. Oh wow. Okay, that was not something I was expecting.
But
all right,
lost the
Samira.
tower.
Sometimes you decide that you just really want to die under tower.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yes, it was. Sometimes the plays there that go under tower might be worth it, but I'm not entirely
Mind
sure.
control maybe is what would have been anticipated there. I think that was a mind control play. Yeah, I think for the top lane here, the camera came back. I actually wanted to talk about top lane before it came up, but I think with the top lane matchup is Set is so strong early. You just have to respect it. But the longer this goes on, the Gwen is just going to be able to get into a position where she's just going to be stronger. As long as she has good wave management and make sure that wave stays in the middle, she doesn't AoE it too much, I think she wins.
Yeah.
The only other issue, of course, is the mana cost of everything that she's doing. She's already out of mana up there in top. So that's scary.
What Gwen is looking to do is to hopefully choke the Set out and choke him out of his CS.
Ooh, a little bit of a gank here.
In mid lane.
Oh, the flea into the second flea. Oh my gosh, that's a really good CC chain there from Mankato.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
No, that was good planning there, knowing what they wanted to do before going in there. Root on Maokai into nothing.
Into nothing. Sometimes you just gotta let it happen.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta root somebody for fun.
Yeah, of course. Really? So this is a lot slower than I kind of expected this lane to go.
Yeah.
When I saw Samira and I saw Maokai, I saw this is a kill lane.
Yeah, this is
100%. And Truman definitely probably respected that whenever they were doing the ban phase. We're like, okay, if they're gonna go for a kill lane, we just need to use our ability to poke and use disengage to our advantage. And Thresh, I think, is a great champion for that disengage. Yeah. So I really like the pick here.
With the flay, Thresh is definitely a fantastic pick for Truman, making sure that they can play that distance well, especially against Samira, who is somebody that is definitely going to be all up in your face.
100%, absolutely. Oh, okay, and using the flux instead of the lantern, I can understand that. You wait half a second longer and that Maokai's on top of you, and I think that's just another kill. Smart.
Yeah.
Can't really argue with that.
Truman's getting kind of poked out of their CS right now, but hopefully they can keep up.
Yeah, I mean, not by much. It's pretty even right now.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing Meliora really dominate the mid lane, so it's really interesting. I wonder if the Fiddlesticks is like a flex, like they're saying, hey, like I know the best thing that can beat you, which I really don't know how well Fiddle does into an Akali, or if it was just a tactic of we respect that you're strong, we know how well you can take over games, we're just gonna slow you down.
Yeah, I think that definitely could be the idea with them, especially the. Mankato with the double fear definitely realizes what kind of stuff they can do with their CC and how strong they can be. Yeah,
and I mean, Truman, as we were talking about earlier, is really a team about objectives, and I think they definitely recognize that they probably recognize that they did not want to go for that grubs.
Yeah.
Which honestly understandable. If you can stop them from getting 4 out of the 6, then you're good. Nobody's gonna get the buff. It's just gonna be an even. And honestly, going even on grubs is not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Truman probably wants to play a little bit harder into their bot lane, probably looking for the dragon. I would imagine. Ooh, there's a Gwen ult coming out. A little bit of extra damage there. That's probably going to go top there. Yep, there it is. Saving that last Gwen ult for the end of the fight was really smart.
It was very smart. Knowing that definitely that the Thresh was out there and has ult up, and realizing that that's gonna happen. Ooh, this is not.
This is a little sus.
This is not a good position.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta know that the Nocturne's probably gonna stay up there.
Yeah, a good play by Horse, keeping that Q if he still has it.
Ooh, a little bit of aggression. Meliora on the board.
Yeah, there's that Q and that pull, and they're gonna get that kill on the Maokai.
Got a kill on the Ivern, but Truman still gets the dragon. That is the power of a Halo Smite right there.
That still gets the dragons, gets 2 kills for the Akali, and a kill and 2 assists for the bot lane. I think that was overall a good positioning for Truman and a good play for Truman.
Yeah, I mean that's smart. You lose it. You lose one. You lose your jungler, but you still got the dragon, and you picked up 3 kills.
Yeah,
there's not really a better flip that you can get from that, other than not losing your jungler and maybe just wiping the board with them.
Yeah.
But of course, like that's optimal position, optimal status basically.
Yeah,
so we're not going to expect perfection.
Yeah. Just hope for Truman to keep on doing what we saw from them last game, which was keep up with objectives, and if they can keep up with objectives, that is really the way that sometimes that can be.
Oh, Daisy's coming out.
The tide that can turn the game. Yeah, going for the gank bot lane. Thresh is down there looking for the
Daisy knockup.
Oh,
and they're Yeah. I mean, Samira E. What else can you do when you have an AoE wind wall?
Yeah, there's not too much you can do there. There was the attempt for the gank there, but not too much happening, and it happens.
Yeah.
Fiddlesticks is playing very aggressive into this Akali, and I think it's because he knows that the natural lifesteal that Fiddlesticks has is definitely going to screw Akali up.
Yeah, I think part of what we're seeing right now, especially in the mid lane, is as a result, I don't think Meliora backed. And I think that's a really, really important thing to remember, because Meliora is probably sitting on at least 1,200 gold right now.
Yeah.
So that is a lot that they could spend there. Oh, let me just watch this bot. Yeah, that's just. Oh! Dedicating the flash to that is
an attempt was made there.
Yeah,
I definitely recognize the almost the kill there on Papa.
Yeah, honestly, I think in that bot instance, the flash into E. That's rough. I think in that situation, I think if that hook lands, maybe Samira dies again. But, I mean, there's not much else that you can do there.
No.
It kind of looks like Truman's kind of playing on the back foot here, which, you're never going to... I mean, we knew this. Their team is very good early.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a pretty strong team for most of the game. Truman's kind of playing a little bit of a scaling team. Yeah. I mean, with the Ezreal, the more items you get onto the Ezreal, the more he's going to be able to ability spam, and that's really the bread and butter of Ezreal. And, Gwen needs... she probably wants just one item to really be online. Probably 2 items. She wants Nashor's Tooth, and then the other item, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head right now. Yeah, I know. I'm forgetting. I know exactly what the item looks like. It's like a really big staff, and it's got like a core in the middle. I don't think it's definitely not Unending Despair. It's definitely not that.
No.
I'm talking the middle of this fight here, and that's just a rough fight.
Yeah.
Dashing back in is pretty rough. We see the flash go out from Horse.
Yeah.
And maybe gonna pick something up here.
Try to get the pole under the tower to get the kill on the Maokai, but it doesn't look like anything's gonna be happening. Get the root to get out of here.
Strong root. It definitely looks like Halo's gonna make it out. Yep. Yeah. Nuff.
Horse is there to
do a little bit of zoning.
Do a little bit of zoning and a little bit of healing.
Ooh, yeah. And Nocturne with his spell shield, it just shut that down.
Yeah.
And we see the set's actually in bot now with all these roams and stuff. This is actually looking like a pretty competitive match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go into these and you're thinking, oh, this might be a fun match, and then nothing happens.
Yeah. It looks like Mankato is looking for a big gank up top. Looks like.
Oh, they're calling it. They're calling it. Let's see how this goes. Good W. Get a knock up. Gonna dash around here. Samira's going for her ulti. She's not gonna get it though.
She's not
One kill.
She's under tower. She's taking big tower shots.
Oh, I don't.
If Papa can I don't think Papa's going to go
Yeah,
for it.
no,
I don't
it's
think
gonna be
it's-
real. Oh,
Come on.
Oh no, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
You gotta
That
respect.
shield.
You gotta
Yeah.
respect the barrier. That's
Yeah.
just. Yeah, I don't know. Like I see the angle there. Like I see
I
the
see the
theory.
thought.
I see the
Yeah.
thought. But when you're that low and you don't have your lifesteal as Gwen yet,
Yeah.
it's really dangerous.
Yeah, that is pretty dangerous. And
Oh, the flux. The
Yeah.
flux was crazy.
going into that is pretty dangerous, especially with how low Gwen was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Truman's looking for this next objective, hopefully going to get this one as well.
Yeah, their positioning is pretty good. I
Yes.
mean, and they have they're even on numbers right now.
Mhm.
So, all right, we see this is very good positioning from Truman here. You got your tank up front, defending your ADC and then your jungler,
Yeah.
jumping back out, making sure that Halo can get out. That's good. We see the TP from the set. Oh, big catch on the set. That's right in the middle of everybody. That's going to be a really big fight here.
Yeah,
That's going to be
that's
the
gonna be-
Nocturne ult. That's going to be Maokai ult, and that's
Yeah.
probably just going to be the fight there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mankato gets 2 kills out of that on both Ezreal and Ivern, and just the rest of the team has to walk away because we can't. Trumi can't do too much there.
Yeah. All right. We're Mountain Drake. That's not crazy. That's not too terrible.
Now, I think that definitely whatever team gets that here, it's just going to be well for them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, anybody's gonna. Oh, and the fear is really rough. Not knowing the Nocturne's there and having to dedicate the flash. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just. I mean, not even getting the Nocturne
Nocturne,
either is
no.
just so depressing.
Yeah.
That's just. I don't know. I don't want to say sloppy, but Truman's playing a little bit weaker, and I don't know if it's the competition that they're up against, or if it's just they're kind of riding high off of that last win. It could also be the composition just isn't as favorable for them.
I think that all of those could definitely be a factor. Going into that last game, I would definitely feel like I might have the edge, especially considering what we were hearing about Maryville. But it's looking like in this game that Truman might be struggling.
Oh, hey! I mean, I'm seeing a nice little gank up here top.
Yeah.
Good, almost a dodge of that W.
On the Quinn, it's going to get that through.
Yeah.
And
That's a big shutdown.
That is a good shutdown, and definitely that is something that we can might be able to point towards a turnaround for Truman, as that shutdown like that can definitely help the team, and getting a shutdown here on not shutdown. Sorry, getting a kill on the Fiddlesticks would definitely.
Oh,
be
the big
beneficial.
catch onto that Maokai. Maokai
Yeah.
might be going down here. The box is going to come out, and that's going to be really bad for Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks
I'm
is
expecting
in a
it's
bad
probably going to be
position.
another hook into the Fiddlesticks here.
Fiddlesticks fear. Maokai's going to get there.
Yeah,
Ezreal's
Maokai ult just
yeah.
shuts down these fights that Truman wants to take.
Yeah.
The whole point of having the Ezreal is to be able to get out of fights like this, and I think that's definitely like the trouble that we're seeing is Maokai ult just kind of negates what they want to do with the Ezreal.
That movement that they want to have from the Ezreal and the Akali is going to be shut down by the Maokai. And seeing even turret from both, and a pretty scary kill split right now.
I mean, honestly, I like to think back to sometimes solo queue is like this, where you're getting stomped early. Truman knows, and it's a big thing that Truman coaches, is every single game is winnable at every single stage. One of the things they have to look for is for Mankato to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And the other thing that they have to look for is to make sure that they don't get out of the game mentally. Because once you're out of the game mentally, the game's just over.
Yeah.
I recently had a game of ranked, which didn't go very good because I messed up one engage. I'm not gonna not admit that I messed up an engage there, but I messed up an engage and my ADC got tilted. And I'm like, hey dude, you need to chill out. Do not tilt over one engage. And he just flamed the entire rest of the game. And it was really it was 5 minutes in. And the question you have to really think about it. Like, this one engage is not the end of our game. And Truman has to keep playing to that. I say as they die, as bot lane dies again, Truman just they have to be able to recognize that, and they have to be able to look at their team and say, okay, this is the person who is the best chance. Let's put resources into them. And I think honestly, that's either going to be Luma into the top lane, or it's going to be Melior in the mid.
Yeah. We just have to see what Truman does here as they try to recoup the damage that's being done. That Fiddlesticks is having a very strong showing with that lifesteal. And got the kill by Gwen, which is big.
Luma's doing good.
Yes. They can continue to push with Luma and get that Gwen up and fed. It would be very good for Truman here.
Set coming out of the bushes there. The showstopper. He's in the box now. CC'd once. He's going to get a hook here in a second probably, and then a flay. There's the hook. Probably going to be, no flay going to go in there. Yeah, I think honestly, I like that. I like that from Truman. Yeah. You don't get a kill there, but you also don't commit too much. Maokai ult going to come in here. Gwen is immune. Gwen is immune.
Gwen is going to get some lifesteal here from the Maokai. Maokai's looking to do a little bit of
that
damage.
Gwen turning around there is really smart, because if she would have walked into that bush, she would have died immediately.
Yeah.
But of course, when there's 4 down there, what can you, or 3 down there, what can you do?
There's not much you can do about that. Mankato sets up for the drag, looking for those objectives. They are also looking like a more objective-oriented team, looking and setting up very well for these past few drags.
Yeah, and I mean, if you get a pick on anybody in the bot lane right before it drags up, that's going to be a really good position for you to be in. We're going to see the Maokai Naka, the chain went by too fast, and I also don't remember Maokai's buttons. I want to say that was Maokai Q into the Maokai E, into the wall, into the Samira knockup, and then Samira dashed through W, and then that was the end of it. But it's past now, so I wasn't able to ramble that off as fast as it went. But yeah, I mean, Truman just has to play on the back foot.
Yeah, Truman has to regroup here and really think about where they want to take fights and when they want those to happen. They aren't necessarily in the position for setting up for when they want to dictate those fights. Mankato definitely had that advantage to them with their more engagement champs, definitely being able to set up when and where they wanted fights to happen. But Truman has to find a mistake. There will be one, and if they can find it and exploit it, and they can definitely turn the tide here.
100%, yeah. I mean, if we look at the gold difference there, that's about a 7K gold difference, which it's not the worst in the world, but it's still pretty high up there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Truman kind of needs to play for these shutdowns, and I think the biggest shutdown that they want to play for is that shutdown on the Samira.
Yeah.
But of course, you have to get through the Fiddlesticks, and you have to get through Nocturne ult for that, and you have to get through the Maokai, and you have to get through the set. So it's just like a big wall that you have to be able to break through, and I think that's probably the thing that's going to be hardest for Truman here, is to be able to just, I mean, they're going to coordinate and they're going to do good, but it's just a thing of how well they're going to be able to execute.
Yeah, I think what we definitely need to see here from Truman, or what we want to see here from Truman, is to find one of those times where Mankato is feeling really good about themselves, almost too overconfident, goes in with one of their squishier champs in Fiddlesticks or Samira, and they make a mistake of trying too hard, and they can get a shutdown there.
Yeah.
That's really what they're hoping for, or hopefully try and get one of these kills on the sideline.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that Truman's probably looking for here is to get this Ezreal online. Ezreal has his first item now, and he's got the Trinity Force, and he's definitely looking for the Manamune next. And I think with those two things, he's going to be able to output a lot of damage. The Showstopper coming out for set, but it just wasn't enough. Gwen is just strong.
Gwen is doing fantastic here, and hopefully if they can find it, Gwen is definitely looking as a good champion to just set up as their...
this is going to be a really big fight. That's the Maokai Orc going to come in. You've got the Nocturne ult there. Straight onto the Ezreal in the back line. That's like the exact person that you want to be able to lock down there.
Yeah.
And you just don't have any peel because you trapped your other two characters that are going to peel for the Ezreal with Maokai ult.
That was a very good play from Mankato. Getting the Maokai ult and fearing definitely who they wanted to in the back line.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, getting onto the Ezreal and also being able to fear the Akali from doing enough damage to take you out is just very, very strong there. Like you can't really argue with the way that they're playing. They're definitely playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
And yeah, so to correct what I said earlier, I said unending despair. That's definitely not the item. This one right here, you see that she's got her Gnasher's Tooth. That is Riftmaker.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was called until I needed to see what it looked like in real life, so I knew what it was.
The top AP item.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's giving you lifesteal, and that's what she's gonna thrive on.
Yeah,
that's what made the difference in that last fight. 100% was that lifesteal.
The last fight was Set. Yeah, was having that lifesteal, and Set really didn't have any besides his Doran's Blade. And that isn't enough to recoup the damage that Gwen is going to do to you. And I think Truman, what they have to do here, especially because they keep on, Mankato keeps on doing it, is making sure that when they're doing these side lanes, is that they have to play fairly safe. Otherwise, they're going to get caught out.
This might be... I feel like Set's going to do something here.
Yeah,
as soon as that's down, he's going to wait for the last second. This is going to be an interesting fight here.
Gwen is there
missing that over,
to help.
Yeah, they're going to know that they're coming from over there. That's just a really bad fight. I mean, you get the Maokai ult there, but like, I get the purpose of that fight, but I don't think I get the execution.
No.
Like, knowing that everybody's going to be on that Mountain Drake, you wanna try to do something, but I just don't think you can force it knowing they're going to be there.
Yeah, I think the idea there would be to try and peel and rotate to the tower to a safer position, and so that they can try and still stall for if they can catch drag out here.
Yeah.
Right now, Mankato is one drag away from
Mountain Soul, yeah.
From Mountain Soul, which will be in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Truman has to do something with that drag, or it's not going to be looking very great.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Oh, that's gonna be the old right under tower. That's probably gonna be I was expecting a showstopper, but honestly, when you have enough damage to kill an Akali under tower, you just do it.
Yeah.
And Truman's going to try to make something happen in the mid lane while that's happening. There's going to be the Samira ult. Yeah, that's just I really don't agree with that. Just felt like a really big overcommit there.
Yeah.
Knowing Samira's got that dash, knowing Samira's going to be able to reset and get that ult.
If Gwen had W up there to block projectiles, that might have been a smarter play, but it didn't look like Gwen could get that up in time.
Yeah, I mean that's just. That's just rough. Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be first match going pretty handedly to Mankato. Yeah, 25 minutes. That's not the fastest game we've ever seen this Truman team do, but that's definitely rough.
Yeah, this definitely a rough game, a first rough game for Truman, and they are definitely going to be looking to somehow switch the tides here.
Yep.
From that first game, we definitely saw something that we weren't. Probably something that we weren't expecting out of Mankato, which was to be as strong as they were in the positions that they were playing in. I think Truman was definitely expecting there to be for the top lane to not be as aggressive and to have hopefully play to that more passiveness that top laners can fall into if they don't feel like they're in a very great position. But the aggressiveness and the good positioning for Mankato through the game definitely put the tide in their favor for the win there. And I think overall we just saw a very good outing, a very good first game from Mankato as they were just getting everything working there.
Yeah, I mean it's just I'm coming back in from walking out and fixing the stream to coming back in here. But yeah, I mean it was a rough first showing for Truman. Truman looked very strong last week, and Truman's looking a lot weaker here. And I think a lot of it is just going to come down to like what kind of adjustments that you can make. I forgot to change part of the stream overlay. I have to go do that. I'm sorry.
Okay. What we want to see from Truman here is recognizing where they can play their strengths and knowing that we saw some slightly more off meta picks with the mid fiddlesticks, and it probably put Truman in a more overconfident position than they might have normally been, and they might have gotten into their heads a little too much, and we're thinking that this game was going to be a little easier for them than it was, but I think they know that they have to brainstorm and think about what position they want to put themselves in for this next game. They know that there has to be some changes to their game plan here, as we're seeing from Mankato as a very front aggressive team, and they are trying to get those picks out.
Yeah, I mean, again, coming back in from not knowing exactly what you're talking about, I guess we can try to isolate what we think went wrong there for Truman. Of course, it has to be reminded that we're casting with a bias. We do actually work for Truman, so it's probably for the best that we want Truman to win here. What do you think? Do you think there was a pivotal moment? Do you think there was a pivotal champion pick? Like, what do you think did it? And if you already talked about it, I will talk about it.
I was talking about it a little bit. I think what happened there was Truman might have been coming in here a little more confident than they normally would be coming off that last game, and possibly seeing that little bit of an off meta pick in the fiddlesticks in the mid might have caused Truman to get a little more confident than they normally would be and try to engage a little more. And I think we definitely saw that Truman was struggling with those side lanes where they're trying to push in, and they just weren't getting anything working there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I definitely agree. Honestly, I think there were two major things that I think went wrong for Truman there, or really contributed to Truman not being able to do as much as what they wanted. I think one of them was the Nocturne.
Yeah.
Him being able to just jump onto the person that he wanted to at any point during that game after 6 was really, really detrimental to Truman, because they had the tools to peel, but the other piece of that puzzle is the Maokai being able to shut everything down with his ultimate.
Yeah, Maokai had multiple times there where it just the timing was perfect and caught out their front line and cutting cutting off any protection that their backline had in the form of Ivern or Thresh, and it really screwed. I think it really screwed up their game plan there.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and I think Truman's probably going to go into this match looking for ways to kind of shut down what they did with that last match. And I think one of the ways that they're going to do that is probably looking for a different ban in the ban phase.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily who they might be looking to ban, but I feel like for Truman, maybe you look at the Nocturne.
Yeah. He might look for the Nocturne, and you might even still, if you're banning Nocturne, even ban the Shyvana, because the jungler in that game was definitely one of their strong suits.
Yeah.
And he was there. He was there for picks. He was there for ganks. He was all over the map, and that is what Nocturne could do. And Shyvana would not be too great of a situation for Truman either, as she's pretty fast and can really do a lot of damage throughout the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, I feel like Truman might be smart it might be smart to go ahead and get rid of the Nocturne whenever they do their bans. I think it also maybe I don't think Set was worth the ban. I don't think Fiddlesticks is worth the ban. I think you just need to understand how to play against the Fiddlesticks.
Yeah.
And I think Truman's more than capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I really think that game was the okay, let's adjust. And I honestly see Truman coming back in this game and really having a good showing in game 2, taking it to the third game, and that's where it's really going to be decided. Because you got to think both of these teams are filling each other out. There were no scrims between these two teams, so these are coming fresh off of what happened, and due to some of the reporting that happens through NACE, we weren't able to see what Mankato played last week, so we don't really know exactly what happened for them. So I mean that's got to be a factor too, right?
Yeah. I think we just see Truman. We see Truman rethink their game plan, and they definitely have a better feeling for Mankato and what kind of game that they're playing and how they are going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think here we definitely will see possibly a stronger game for Truman and a more focused attack at what they're looking for. And I think that for them, it isn't just focusing on objectives, but it's trying to get those quick first picks
Mm-hmm.
and trying to be the aggressor.
Yeah.
In this case, timeout.
I'm just realizing now that Truman just picked red side, so I'm gonna have to change the overlay again once I go back in there. I will go a little bit early, so it's roughly in time when everything else is gonna change. But Truman picking red side really messes me up here because I have it displayed as red side versus blue side. So I mean, what else can you do there? But yeah, I mean, so for Mankato, do you think Mankato's going to go for another one? Do you think they're going to keep similar bands, or do you think they're going to target something else?
I think they would probably keep somewhat similar bands. They might even look for a ban for Thresh because of Horse's favoritism when it comes to Thresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They might even look towards a ban for Meliora as she was getting some things working in that game, and they definitely are looking probably for. I think they might after that just keep the same bands.
Yeah, I mean, I can respect keeping similar bands. I think you do have to pay attention to the comp that the enemy team is going to go for. Of course, we don't get to see this ban portion. Hopefully, eventually in the future, we'll get to actually see this portion of it.
Yeah.
It requires a little bit more setup and a little bit more preparation from our side, but currently our stream, this is the most involved stream that we have, and it's a two-man thing. We have a third person that comes through and helps us with some technical issues, but other than that, this is a two-man thing, which is the reason why I run back and forth. So just things that we'll have to work on in the future.
Yeah.
Of course, we're officially sanctioned, but you can only do so much when you're just two people and you don't have a dedicated stream booth. That would be very nice to have a dedicated stream booth.
It'd be very cool to have just the wires that run through and they don't run through the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, don't give away all the trade secrets here. Like we can't give everybody the secrets of how we're doing this. It's not like we're sitting in a room right next to it and have wires to the ceiling. That'd be insane.
No. It's very professional here. Every wall is padded.
every wall is
sound
padded.
dampening.
Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and switch that stream thing over real quick.
As we're getting that getting switched over here. I think right now we're just waiting until we can see those picks from each team, and still very curious on is going to happen on the side of Mankato. I think Truman is definitely going to keep similar bans, might even go for the ban on Maokai, as Maokai was a very pivotal champion for Mankato there. Having all of those, all of that AoE CC it can be very impressive for Truman, and I think they're definitely going to look for a way to shut that out, and they might even be in the form of counter picking the Maokai if they see that pick early from Mankato. And I think that might be Truman's game plan here, is maybe keeping similar bans, but having picks that are more focused on countering the team comp of Mankato, and possibly countering some champions more outright, because the Maokai there is very good for Mankato, and the Thresh as well was a very pivotal champion for Mankato, as he was there to get those picks, get those ganks, and we saw a lot of good positioning from the Thresh, and there was of course there was that play where Meliora to be double feared by both the Thresh and the Fiddlesticks, and that really screwed up Truman's game plan there, as Akali was a more engagement champion, and that can that probably really threw off Truman's plans there. Now we're just waiting for that switch over to the pick phase.
I have a very stuffed working solution to the problems that have been pointed out. I can only do so much with the very limited amount of time that we have, and this is it's gonna make me have to really think about how we're gonna do things on stream.
Yeah.
Because I have to figure out how to make these things work. And part of the issue is that we're only two people. And so what needs to be able to happen is that I need to be able to get rid of those whenever the ban phase starts, or we're not going to see things on ban phase.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a problem, and I need to figure it out. And it wasn't something that I realized until it was pointed out. So thank you for that.
I like the color blocks personally.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good at the bottom there, covering the chat. Like, I think that's pretty phenomenal. But then you look at the top there, and it's like, oh wow, that's kind of gross. What can you do?
I like the 6. Yeah, I like the repeating pattern.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely inspirational. I would. What kind of art is this? Like contemporary art here that I'm doing here, or?
I think contemporary it's very specifically like almost performative art. Like contemporary is like, I don't want to say weird art, but it's art that is like you see falling buckets of sand kind of art.
All right, yeah, and there is exactly what I was talking about. Being able to get rid of that. It would be really nice if we had a way to get our little stream deck so we could get rid of those things in the future.
Yeah.
We do have a stream deck which we could use for that. Unfortunately, it is connected in the other room, and we'd have to string another wire, which we do not have. So this is the solution for now.
We see, like we were talking, like I was talking about earlier, I wasn't sure if Truman was going to go for the counter to Thresh or for the outright ban, and it looks like they they went for that solution for Scent and for Thresh. And I'm curious on what Truman is going to be picking here, or banning in the future. A Zed for the mid lane, Jax for Truman. Jax was is definitely a pick that was towards the counter of Mankato, as we saw their top laner like playing.
Not the Yasuo.
Liked playing.
I can't say what I
Jax.
usually call Yasuo because this is affiliated. However, the wind producer himself. I like wind producer. It sounds kind of prestigious, but you know what it means.
The wind producer. And we saw Truman giving up that Shyvana to Mankato, and I think they're definitely trying to see if that is a more favorable position for them than getting feared constantly. Mankato using their last two bans for 2 AD carries, and
Yeah, I mean, if you want to shut down bees, you got to focus on the AD carries.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they picked the wrong AD carry on the second one. I don't remember the last time I saw bees play.
and I like seeing these plays there.
Oh yeah, of course. Having your ADC on their preferred ADC champion. I mean,
I think that will go a little bit better for Truman, and I think the Braum into Rel Lux. I
feel like that's really strong.
I
feel
or-
you have the ability to just say, you know what? If you're gonna block stuff in mid lane, we're gonna block stuff in bot lane. You know, it kind of does it even out.
I think it might even out a little bit here, and I think for Meliora, it's just a situation of playing it safe against Yasuo and just finding when he makes a mistake and using that to your advantage and getting that charm on him and being able to really shut him down early will play to German's favor. And the Zeri Braum is going to be is a very good pick against looks like an APC, which Truman is used to dealing with, especially from last game, and into the Rel as well. Rel is one of my favorite supports.
Me too.
But playing against a Braum who has a little bit of more movement might be a difficult thing for Mankato to deal with. But there's also the chance of getting that E off and stunning Braum when he's trying to defend against those Lux abilities.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you can stun the Braum, it's good. But the thing you have to think about, and it's the same thing with the wind wall, is it's monodirectional and you can walk around it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the hardest thing in both. Speaking of the Yasuo and speaking of the Braum, is being able to position those in an effective way that can't be punished. Yes, Braum, if he eats a Lux Q, he's going to be stuck there for a little bit and Rel could run behind, but he's only going to be stuck there for so long, and Braum has the ability to get out of that situation with his W.
Yeah.
And Yasuo in the same way, if he gets locked down, he's got a way to get out with his dash. And at the same time, Ari's got a lot of ability to position aggressively around those shields and play around it. And I think Lux doesn't really have that kind of utility.
Yeah.
She's she's an artillery mage. She's throwing stuff at you constantly. But the problem is she has to really worry about the positioning in this lane. Rel's going to make it easier for her. But Zeri's ability to get away with the E, I mean, how much, you can cover a lot of distance with that. I think Zeri is just really good in this situation.
I think Zeri's a very good pick, and I feel like Braum is also a very good pick. Playing into that APC and having a support that is there that can directly block some of those block that poke that's going to be coming out of the Lux. It's a good position for Truman.
Yeah, 100%.
And probably should focus on the top lane matchup too here. Dr. Mundo and Jax. I feel like if Jax can do it early and shut down the Dr. Mundo from becoming a really aggressive force is going to be into Truman's favor. Stopping Mundo as soon as you can is going to be for their best position, and Jax doesn't necessarily lose that fight going against Dr. Mundo.
It appears it's my time. I shall be right back. I have thoughts on this Mundo and this Jax.
But yeah, having the Jax with such a physical champion going into an AP counter with Dr. Mundo, it really kind of plays into more onto Jax's side, and being able to get that that stun off from Jax is going to be very good for Truman, and trying to beat that Mundo down, and having Conqueror on Jax to get that heal, it's going to definitely help against such a high health damage, high health tank in the form of Mundo. We see Truman going for vision here, and this is not a very good position for Meliora. If they can get the flash over the wall, yes, okay, Meliora gets out of there, but that causes a back, and that's definitely what. If you can't get a kill, that is what you want out of getting. Oh, and we see Truman using that to their advantage as well, getting that extra poke there early and causing Rel to back. And we saw that with Ari. Oh, I don't think Ari actually backed. I don't think she got the ability to. The camera was over there, and I was focused on the bot lane.
Unfortunately, too hyper-focused on the bot. I had to switch things again because I thought Truman was going to play on right side. I was lied to.
Yes, I think everybody was lied to, and it was a little disappointing. But we're seeing some of the things that we were talking about before play out. Yasuo definitely playing to his mobility early on. He took E to get around those champions and really screw up Ari early and get that damage. And we see Jax doing exactly what we were talking about earlier, and getting that conk to proc and getting that stun off is going to be really detrimental to the Mondo.
Yeah, I think the best thing that you can do in the situation in the top lane, and that's something that I wanted to talk about before I had to run away, is Mundo is going to come online eventually. The thing that you're going to benefit the most in this lane, in my opinion, is getting as far ahead as possible as Jax. If you're able to at least stop him from getting grasped, stop him from getting as many minions as possible, I think that's the way that you have to play that lane to make sure that you can play aggressively. He is stealing blue buff right now. Halo is in the jungle, actively stealing Shyvana's blue buff.
And I think a good charm by Meliora, and I think Halo definitely understood what was happening last game, and the because of the way the jungler was playing, getting those picks and getting those ganks out, and positioning well, it was definitely in the favor of Halo to play more aggressive and get those steals.
Ooh, that is a rough cleaver right there.
A massive Mundo cleaver.
This is you have to dash there. Like, I think honestly, if that cleaver lands, that's out. Ooh, and the W is even worse. That's such a risky play to take. Did you see how big that wave was?
Yes.
I really don't know about that one.
Very aggressive. We're seeing this come out of. We're seeing the same thing happen here with Mankato with their jungler. They're doing the same thing over again. They are playing aggressive, and they're trying to get those ganks early and trying to get a priority to the bot, and so they can get the priority to the drag.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon is the thing that they're going to be playing the hardest for. It's you have a Shyvana on the other team, like that's what she wants to play for, and I think Truman's in a decent position here. Unfortunately, Mankato is getting the bot lane reset, and that's probably going to be the biggest thing that decides this first dragon fight. The other thing is going to be this mid fight here, depending on how it goes out. It looks like Meliora is actually being able to trade really well.
Yeah, that was
definitely a winning trade for Meliora.
Yeah, that was a good combination for Meliora getting that damage on that Yasuo, and he wasn't able to get that wind wall up. He doesn't. She is poking him out pretty decently right now.
Oh, the charm! She knew.
Another amazing charm from Meliora, and getting that.
That bot lane right now. That she's looking for like a Hextech flash or something like that. That Rel, if she wanted one, she has flash up right now, but she probably did take Hextech flash if she's got sorcery secondary, or not sorcery, but inspiration secondary. But you can't tell.
Yeah. And we seen from what we were talking about earlier with the Jax, and really what his game plan here is to get as far ahead as you can, and we're seeing that especially in the CS. Mundo is going to have to play catch up if he wants to keep up with CS here.
Yeah, and I mean the kill is going to offset that a lot. And it's really going to be a thing of can you pressure enough to where the Mundo has to just lose CS to tower, and it's difficult when you have a champion that's so good at gaining health back. Like if you were playing an equally like equal champ like a set, maybe you would see a little bit of it'd be a little bit more even. But I think the Jax just brings the utility that Truman's looking for, and that's probably the reason why we saw that come out there.
Yeah, and I personally don't believe that the Jax is a bad play into the Mundo. It's definitely a good champion, a good champion that can keep up and do the damage that can.
What a charm!
Another amazing charm from Meliora.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's going to be putting those out a lot. Yeah. And I think part of it is the Yasuo not respecting the charm. No. She's hit, I think, almost every charm that she's thrown out, the one that we've seen, she keeps hitting.
Yeah, she keeps on hitting those. Truman definitely has to play vision here. They gotta make sure what's going on. Yasuo throws up his
really early wind wall. Honestly, I think that's honestly going to be the detriment of Yasuo. He pays for that.
Yeah, he definitely does pay for that, and they pay for the Shyvana too. And Rel is just gonna walk away.
Yeah, and that's something that's really good. That's the difference that's happening here between the bot lanes. Is you have a mage versus an ADC. And there is so much mobility on this Zeri that she really, as long as she plays properly, is in no threat to this Lux.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that you're able to get those roams off out of the bot lane for the support.
For Truman.
Oh, the flash! Oh my god!
Nice job by Zeri to pay attention there and get that kill.
I'm so happy that something positive happened there. I thought there was going to be a death there, but Lux just kind of threw, and then we're going to see another. Hopefully, we can get that CC. There's going to be that out
CC, there. And it's stunned by Jax, and there's going to be a kill, hopefully, on this Mundo.
It's not going to be a kill.
Now he's got too much healing.
He's got too much healing, and the really big difference here is that Braum does not have 6 there. If Braum has 6, that is 100% going to be like a kill onto the Mundo, because that extra knockup would have made the difference.
Yeah.
Good play from Horse walking back up so that Jack could E back to him and get out, or not E back, but could jump back to him and get out of that fight, because if it wasn't for that, then Jax is definitely dead.
Okay, Truman.
3 top.
Yeah, 3 top. Truman has. They need to just get out of this position, and they do. They played that very well. And right before that, Truman did a fantastic job in getting kills on all of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 100%. And I mean, so they weren't able to get all 3 of those grubs. There's the last Void Grab coming up there. So Truman only needs 2 more from next grubs to actually get the buff. Mankato needs all of them to get it. This is sneaky here. There's going to be the knockup. Oh, perfect range on that root there. But
Rel is by herself, and she doesn't have any way of getting out there.
And look who's here, but Meliora.
Meliora is there to distract the Ahri from protecting the Rel, and
I don't think this is going to turn into a kill. Nope. There's the Lux ulti. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage.
I think this does turn into a kill for Zari here. Luckily.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just so rough. I mean, you gotta be able to anticipate that she's gonna have the Q back up in enough time.
But I don't think this is a bad position for Truman here, because that's another kill for Zari, and Meliora wasn't really hurting from that. as she's going to get back into the lane, and hopefully she can continue to do very well against this.
Yasuo. But yeah, and when you're smart and you can work as a team. You see that Halo's doing a great job of holding that mid lane. Just noticed that the jungle is gone. Shyvana is in Truman jungle right now. Halo's about to walk over that little ward right there, and he's probably going to bandage into... He's looking for the bandage on the Krugs. Does not get the bandage on the Krugs. Yasuo's going really aggressive. Really early wind wall. Block the charm, but then we're going to see Horse come out. Nothing else is really going to happen there, but Bees is in a terrible position.
Yeah. The ult by
Braum ult and the shield just wasn't enough. Yep. Rel commits the W. It doesn't have to use the E there, or it doesn't have to use the Q there. But
Braum can get out.
Yeah.
And there's only the kill on the Zarya that, hopefully.
Yeah. Only kill onto the Zarya there.
Yeah.
It's a rough situation to have. The shutdown went on to the Shyvana, which isn't the best person that you want that to go on to. Big charm. And the other thing that's really important to note is that they're in a prime dragon position now. Yeah. And that's rough.
They are really set up for drag, and they are looking for it. Shyvana backed, but she's going to make it in time before drag gets up. And by the time that bot gets back, they'll be in an opposite position. They aren't going to be able to set up and be prepared for the fight down in the drag pit.
Yeah, something you don't see very often. Meliora is behind in CS in the lane.
Yeah.
We saw a very dominant performance last week of an 80 CS lead at minimum.
Yeah.
And it's not here, but that's just because of how the lane stays. There's been a lot of roaming going on, and we're about to see a very interesting dragon fight. Truman coming at it from two different angles, really trying to pinch it there.
Yeah, they're trying.
And it doesn't. Yeah, they're not going to get the dragon because Halo's not able to get into position to fight for that. And now it's going to be a split fight. Very good stun getting onto the Shyvana, and then it's just going to be a continued fight there.
Yeah, and probably not going to see much out of that besides some damage. Mundo gets the kill. Get a.
That's a big ult from Halo there.
Yeah. Now they're under tower, and
there's one. There's two.
Possibly the third if they can catch up to this Lux.
It's going to be really hard. You have to hit the charm there. You have to respect that she's.
The
triple kill! All right.
Triple kill by Zari, and that is a pretty decent trade for Truman, losing the Braum, but you also lost the drag.
Yeah, losing Braum, losing drag, you lost part of your top tower. You pick up a lot onto the Zarya, and I think if there was going to be a win condition, it was probably going to be either getting Zarya really strong or getting the Ari really strong. And you have one of the two things happening right now. Now it's just going to be a game of good positioning and making sure that you can continue to snowball this lead into something more effective.
Yes.
And Truman needs to look for Void Grubs here to snowball that more effectively. And they're in a great position for it. They've got 3 up there. They've got the ADC up there. The Rel is going to have to travel up through river, and then Yasuo is going to be able to attend to this fight here.
Yeah.
The Jax is in a prime position to walk down and help with this fight, but it looks like Meliora is going to be almost caught out there, but the Rel is going to stay in the mid lane, and that lets Truman get the pressure back in for the Void Grubs, and now Truman's in a much better position. Them going for that singular kill is going to make the difference for this fight, I think.
Playing this position here, Truman's just looking at for a quick pick, and if they can catch somebody out.
Yasuo is going to overcommit here, and there is going to be an ulti out. There's going to be huge damage on the Rel. Now the Shyvana is going to be the next one, or Shyvana is going to be the next one that needs to die. Yasuo gets a huge knockup, and that's going to be based off of that ulti coming out of the Shyvana. That's it's part of the point of building your squad to do a lot of knockups. Rel's got some knockups, and Yasuo is going to be able to use them.
Yeah. Yasuo's going to be fighting the Jax here. Not too much going on. The Zarya is still there looking for, hopefully, to snatch these Void Grubs. And Truman is actually getting this position back into their favor. This is looking a little bit dangerous.
Yep, looking a little bit dangerous there. Very good. I think that was a pretty decent win wall, and it's going to be able to stun down the Yasuo. Yasuo is going to go down. Now it's going to be a thing of You
got to peel.
Yeah, you got to peel.
You got to. Hopefully, they might be able to turn the tide here, but they don't have. It doesn't look like Mumu had any abilities up, but Zarya is still there, and she's flashed
forward. That's going to be a double kill.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on those Void Grubs. They got the 4 that they needed. They were 1 short, And that, I mean, it's disappointing that Truman's not going to be able to get that, but Truman's still converting things.
Yeah, Truman is doing a little bit better than it was last game. They're keeping the gold tight. They're keeping their lanes caught up, and definitely being able to get the kills for bees early on, and being able to play against that APC where Braum and Zari are just in a better position overall. It is a better.
This is going to be a rough fight right here. The wind wall backwards is a very intelligent play to make there. Horse is going to have to take the brunt of this damage. Yeah, ooh, the flash was pretty nice. Being able to get all that damage out of the rel, that's going to be a kill for bees. I think as long as things go well. Oh, yeah. I mean. Yeah, being able to, gotta respect that she's going to press the funny button.
Yes. That was almost a kill for bees there, but that Yasuo was there that was taking the brunt of those autos, and so that it was just not going to the rel.
Yeah. And I mean, Truman's not playing on the back foot by any means. I mean, Truman is close to getting a tower. If not, they did. I can't remember if they did get that tower in the bot lane. Truman lost the tower.
Yeah, they got the tower in the bot lane.
They lost the tower. They're losing a tower mid. They lost the tower top. But they're rotating a lot better for these objectives. And as you can see right here, they're punishing Mankato for doing the things that they want to do, like getting in their jungle.
Getting in their jungle. They are playing more towards those early picks that they can catch out, and they're doing what Mankato was doing to them, and that's a kill on the Yasuo.
Another one on the Bees, and Bees is going to keep playing aggressive here. Yeah, honestly, Bees is going. It's obvious that Truman has said Bees is the win con, and I think that kill might have needed to go to Bees, but honestly, getting that onto the RE2, she's not that far behind.
No.
The more that you can feed those other laners, the more you're going to be able to snowball this state that they're in, right?
No, Truman is going very well for them, especially kill wise. They just have to focus more objectives, and they definitely was a perfect situation for them, being able to kill the Shyvana and kill the Yasuo, who have been doing the big damage dealers here, and being able to get that first hex tech drag.
Yeah, and I mean they can't do the split push because the Jax is still up top stopping the Mundo to the best of his abilities.
Yeah, there's not too much you can do against such a higher level Mundo, and
he's got more mogs.
Mundo is he has so much health, and he can survive for so long that he's a very good pick for Mankato here, and he could possibly be.
Bees might just be caught out here.
Bees might be able to get no.
Oh my gosh! The fact that Bees live there is really a testament to either how bad the Yasuo is, or just
how good Bees is.
Yeah, I don't really know. I would have liked to see the rest of that. I don't like to say somebody's bad or somebody's good, just because I don't really know what happened in the last part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you boil it down to it, Bees is too far pushed up against the Yasuo.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to respect that. That's nice flash away from that, but you just have to respect that Yasuo is going to get on top of you if he can.
Yeah.
And he burned the ult for it, and it was close.
But Bees was able to recover there and keep it from getting the shutdown on Yasuo. Granted, if there was somebody that they wanted to get the shutdown to, it might be the Yasuo at this point. Yasuo
gold reset.
It would be in the Yasuo's favor, but he is now behind compared to the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not a lot that you can do in that position as Yasuo. If you get far enough behind, I think you just really have to become sort of a CC bot. If you see a big knock-up, you knock everybody up and keep them in one place for as long as possible. But I think you can never really say one of the wind producers is out of the game until
the game's over.
Until the game's over, yes. I mean, the 0-10 power spike is something of legend that I know a lot of people meme about, but I mean,
I've experienced a few times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes you're doing really bad, and then you die 10 times. You're like, okay, I have to start playing the game now. I don't think that's the situation.
And then usually at that point, I do plug in my I plug in my keyboard.
Turn my monitor on after that point.
And I'm like, oh wait a second, I'm playing a game.
Oh right, I need to pay attention. But yeah, I mean, Truman's doing a pretty good job here.
Truman keeping the zone and keeping the in enemies with out of their jungle on the top side where they're looking to get that tower down.
Heartsteel is really chunky
Yeah.
when you have a Mundo that's got that much.
Yeah,
you have
gotta
to flash.
there.
You either flash or you walk forward, and Mundo hits you with another cleaver, and it's
Yeah.
just GG.
Yeah. Looks
And I think the reason why this might have been a switch here is, one, Ari did a lot of roaming early, and she really needs that XP back, and two, you really want some true damage to be able to deal with the Mundo, and there's really only one source of true damage on Truman's team at the moment, and that is going to be coming from that Ari.
is looking to keep for that push on the bot, but doesn't get the tower down, but a few more shots and it'll definitely be down.
Yeah, I mean, very respectable play. Yasuo is going to walk up here and try to make something happen.
Block anything from happening.
Oh, there's Bees. Oh,
Bees
and the
is
commit
there.
to the ultimate early
Yeah.
from the Yasuo might have been the game changer here.
Yeah.
But of course, Bees is going to get zoned off by the Mundo here, and then
And
it's just going to
just
be
got to be able to play under tower.
yeah, being able to walk backwards is the only thing that they
Yeah.
can really do in this situation. Bees is going to take a lot of damage,
Yeah.
barely dodging the Shivani Q. Horse barely survives too. This is just a rough situation.
Yeah, I think this definitely shows that how Mundo can be used in these situations. He's just such a big damage sponge, and he can his sustainability and being able to do damage is impeccable.
Yeah, 100%.
And Truman, they have to do something here. They they have to stop one of these split pushes from happening. And it looks like Mankato was positioned themselves very, very well here to push Truman down and then set up for this drag.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing that you can do. Yeah, suffocating them of resources. They're taking the entire jungle where they can, and then sending everybody else to go and do that dragon. That's the thing you have to do. Whenever you have a Shyvana on your team, you need as many dragons as possible because you want to stack that passive up as much as you can. Truman really needs to think about two things here, and that is, can we fight for this dragon, and can we get a good position to fight for this dragon? And then it's going to be, are our wave states good enough that we can manage that? And I think, yes, Asterix bot is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Having two TPs on the enemy team is going to make that really hard if they're able to do anything with that. Seeing somebody go over with the portal, you know the Shivani is going to come in. Oh, the steal! The steal!
She lost death, but that brings Mankato almost only one away from the soul, and that is a big Lux ult.
Big binding bit into the, or not binding, a big Lux Q into big Lux ultimate there, and they're just gonna get chased down here.
And Truman tried to CC there, but there just wasn't enough health, and Truman just has to peel and get away. You don't want to die to this Mundo here.
Yeah, that cleaver is gonna. It didn't hurt too bad, but it's gonna start hurting very soon. And this is just a rough situation to be if you're Ari here.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can do is run. Honestly, in some situations, I would just say, just die, get your respawn started. I mean, that's really the best thing that you probably could do in Truman's situation. You just need to do as much as you can to make sure that you're not dying here. I don't necessarily know if I agree too much with
that play.
I mean, it's kind of a desperation play. Truman is definitely very far behind. They're about 10k gold from behind, so it's a rough situation to be in.
Truman's looking for a way to get back into this game now. They are behind on drags and objectives. They have to figure out a way to hopefully. They need to catch another kill out here that will get the ball rolling for them. Zari is still only one death, and hopefully she can do some damage here. But now that Mankato has been able to grind and scale, it might not look so great for Truman.
Yeah, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with trying to push up this hard. That is good E out, but of course the storm, the coal, or I forget what the ability is on the storm. The storm item, the one that looks like a mace.
Getting a kill on the Yasuo isn't going to be doing too much as everybody else is after you, and that's only one away from a team wipe.
Yeah, and they've got Baron too. I think you have to fight and try to stop the Baron play there, but I also think it might have been worthwhile to do something on the bot side of the map. I mean, it's really hard to have a winning position or a winning spot in that position. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Truman's putting up the best that they can. And, of course, almost getting a double kill at the
Yeah.
end there isn't the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, there's not much more that you could really ask for.
Yeah.
Truman played to the best of their ability in those games, and I think that's something you can definitely point at and be like, hey, at least we did the best that we could.
Yeah.
It was a little bit rocky in the first game, and the
Mhm.
second game it definitely came together better.
Yeah, they definitely were more cohesive, and they definitely they definitely were seeing the weak points that Mankato had, and they tried to exploit those, and they did a pretty good job in the beginning, exploiting the fact that they were playing against an APC and getting pretty good charms on the Asuo in the beginning, but I think the deciding factor in that game was the Mundo. Like having such a big champion that can sustain for as long as he could, and he was even though that we were talking beforehand about trying to shut down the Mundo when he was up top, he was still able to grind and get his CC up, and he was able to really get the ball rolling, as it was harder for Truman to get those kills on Mundo in the beginning. It wasn't working out for them, and that turned into Mundo being a very good, very big player for Mankato in the rest of that game.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's rough to see Truman take a loss, but it is still very early into the season. They have 8 games to play until the playoffs, and that is, I mean, being 1-1 at the beginning isn't the worst thing in the world. Of course, you want to be 2-0 at this point, but you have to think you have 6 games ahead of you, so you have a lot of places to go, right?
This isn't a good showing for Truman, but it isn't the end. They still have more to go, and they still have more development to make, and changes to make to their team, and getting better as a team together as a whole. They have two new pieces to it, and as they continue to work together, they can definitely become a more cohesive unit and work towards that goal.
Yeah, 100%. All right, that's going to be the end of the stream just for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for coming by and watching. We appreciate all the help that everybody has shown us, and all of the feedback and all of the positive energy that we're getting from you guys. We're so happy to have you here, and we're so happy to have you watch our stream. So thank you so very much for that. That'll be the end for us.
Yes, thank you for supporting Truman Esports. We hope to see you in the future.